everyone, this is Dawn. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm glad you're here, and welcome to another Twisted Sisters video hop. This month, I chose the stamp set called Writing in the Sand. So this is a set that shows ocean water washing up onto the beach. So you take the upper stamp and ink it up in ocean colors, and then you can stamp the separate lower stamp in sand colors, and then there's different sentiments that you can write. So here are a couple of examples of how this set was created to be used. So my twist is I'm going to turn it upside down, and what I see is a glacier field. I've got the glacier and the mountain, and then the lake at the base of the mountain. So here's some real life examples. This is St. Mary's Glacier in Colorado and Glacier Basin in Rocky Mountain National Park, Colorado. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I've got some white daisy loaded into my MISTI. The best way to use this stamp is in a stamp positioner. It's the easiest way to make it work. And I'm going to load it so that that ocean water stamp is upside down and at the base of my white daisy. So I'm going to take some rosemary and ink up, and then some glacier, and I'm going to use a sponge dauber and just add some glacier ink in where the snow would be on that glacier. And then I have harbor. I'm going to create my little lake at the base of the glacier. And then I'm going to add some toffee for the rocks and everything around that water section, okay? And then I'll go back in with a sponge dauber and kind of blend the toffee into the harbor. Okay, so we'll stamp that out. And then I have my little glacier scene. And then I'm going to go back in with some more harbor and make the water a little darker. So you just use your sponge daubers to soften up the edges between the colors. Okay. So that's my glacier and my mountain. And then I'll bring in the piece that's supposed to look like sand. And again, I'm putting it in upside down, and it's going to be above the mountain. And I'm going to make a Colorado blue sky using Bluebird. So I'll stamp that out, and then I'll soften that up with a blending brush with Bluebird ink. So I'll just blend that around. And that concentration that I got when I first started, I'm going to put my sentiment there, so that doesn't really matter. I didn't realize how juicy this ink pad was, so just add some Bluebird. Okay, so that's my scene, and now I'm going to add some trees in the foreground. So this tree is from an older stamp set called Aurora. Just go through your stash and look for any trees that you have. And I'm going to use New England ivy. And then I'm just going to stamp a couple of trees right in the foreground, and I'm going to stamp off the edge of the scene. Okay. So it sort of gives some perspective and size to the scene that you have stamped out. So my sentiment is from a new stamp set called Adventure Badges, and this one says, "Find your wild." So I'm going to stamp on shortbread. This is the light side of shortbread, and I'm going to stamp in toffee. And then off camera, I will die cut it, and I'm going to use one of the smaller circles so that I get just around the edge of that moon. So it's a little bit smaller. Okay, so now I'm going to trim up my glacier scene and just trim off the edges and clean it up. And then I'm ready to start matting it to create my card front. So I'm just kind of playing around with colors. I have glacier and rosemary and harbor. So I'm going to start out with white, and since my glacier scene, it turned out to be kind of a unusual size, the cheat is to go ahead and adhere it to the background piece and then just trim around it. So still just looking at what I like and what looks best. So I'm going to go with the regular side of rosemary next. And again, I'm going to go ahead and adhere it and then trim around it. Just leave a tiny border. It really does make a big difference to add those tiny borders of color. And then my base will be harbor, and this is the regular harbor color, not the light, it's the regular. And then I'm going to go ahead and start building my card. So pretty simple, not very bulky, easy to mail. Just put everything down with Tombow. And then I'll pop my sentiment with some foam tape. And there you have it. Finished card. I'll have some close-up shots in a second. So all of these supplies are currently available in my online store. I'll make a list with links in the description below. And here are all 3 of those cards made with that set. If you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button, and then you'll be able to find all of my videos. And be sure to check out the playlist at the end of this video to find all of the other cool things that the other Twisted Sisters have twisted with new products from this new catalog. Thanks for watching.